why don't we do a fashion maneuver together and just kind of get warmed up before we start. And then we're going to go through all 12 astrological signs and what you're going to be going through for the next week. So why don't we start off? We'll do totally twisted, just 6 breaths, crossing the right foot over the left foot. Right hand under the left armpit and left arm on top. Give yourself a nice hug. Turn your head to the left and turn your body to the right. And we're going to breathe together. So breathe in through the mouth. 2. Three. Breathe in through the nose. 2. 3. Whew. Okay.
Awesome.
How does that feel? The one thing to note about Mexico is if you step in an anthill, they are not friendly. And I think I have a few on me right now, so I'm going to go right here. Okay, so where are we starting? We're starting with Aries.
Start with Aries.
First sign of the zodiac.
Okay, so we are still in Aquarius season, and we're going to go through for your sun sign and your rising sign. So if you know your rising sign, you can look for that. And most people know their sun sign. At Sirius Joy, we can help you find it if you have no clue. Remember, any of this information you get today, only take what resonates with you and leave behind everything else. There are some things about astrology that can be more specific to you, and sometimes collective readings, you're like, I don't know where that lands. But usually you can find in hindsight where it did land, which right now, when we go through the signs, it's going to be a little bit of a repeat from what we went over last week, and maybe you can look back and go, oh, you know what? That did happen. That is super, accurate. So for the Aries, up until about, this is all going to be starting from now until like the middle of the week. So like Wednesday, and then from Wednesday to the following Monday is when it's going to shift a little bit. So at first, Aries, you're going to be focusing on the role you play in society. So with your friends, social settings, people that you congregate with. So maybe like your very local community. And then come Wednesday evening, your focus is going to be on your future impact on the global community. So going a little bit more the world at large. So that's where your focus is going to be shifting, and you're going to be raising the vibration in who you're around with, who you're surrounded by, and then how that affects your future and how that elevates your future. So that's for the Aries.
Well, if you're an Aries, just put it in the comments and let us know questions about that. And what's funny about Aries is every time we ever did sessions, like treatment sessions with Aries, they were always the ones that really were the hardest to talk about astrology with. I don't know if it's the rule-driven, process-driven.
There's a couple. Capricorn also can be another one that's a little tricky with astrology. And I think maybe the Aries, there's a lot of ego behind Aries energy, and ego is not a bad word. It gets put off to be such a bad word. It's not. We all need our ego. We all need a healthy ego. So sometimes I think Aries get caught up in that a little bit, and it can be a little tougher for them to wrap their head around something that is greater, it is greater and larger than they are. So that could be that. So that's interesting. And like I said, take what resonates, and what doesn't, leave it behind. But for the Aries, you guys are going to be focusing on your social ambitions and how that elevates your future. So maybe you'll come across something that you choose to surround yourself, a community group you choose to get in that's going to ultimately impact your future. Yeah.
Well, we have three Aries that live with us at the. I'm definitely seeing that for sure. So
Taurus.
Next up would be
Taurus,
Or Taurus.
So the Taurus, they're going to be still focusing on what direction in life they're going to go, and what's going to elevate their direction in life. They could also be focusing on directing and leading others. So maybe if you're a teacher, or if you're a boss or a manager, maybe you're elevating the way that you direct and lead people. And then come the middle of this week, you're going to be focusing more on that legacy it leaves behind. So maybe you're in a manager position and you're directing and leading others, but maybe you're gonna leave that position and move on to something else. So you're leaving behind something, what you're working on now. It could be, something along those lines. And that could be also your parenting. Maybe you're implementing some new parenting, some new elevated ways to parent your children. And that's going to have a big impact on them in their future in a positive way. Maybe you're teaching them some nice life lessons right now, and that elevates your parenting skills and it elevates their life. So it's all about your direction in life that you're going, elevating that, and then leading into your future. That's for a Taurus.
It's really funny. It's really funny because right as you said Taurus, I am Zari just popped into the feed there, and she is the Taurus that lives with us. And right now, she's actually translating our 28-day life reset into Spanish. So everybody who speaks Spanish will be able to do it in their own language, because what we find is it sits differently when you're doing it in the language that you're using.
Absolutely. It's just more, I would imagine you're in more of an alignment. Gosh, how fabulous would it be if you guys could get it in so many different languages? That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, we will be in 6% of the world speaks English. So, translating this into as many languages that we possibly can is one of our goals over the next year. We already have it in Japanese. We have some Spanish readers. We've also got it in Dutch and German.
That's so cool. What an awesome goal to have. Yeah. Speaking in goals and direction of life, the Gemini, so Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, you guys are up next. So you guys are focusing on elevating your belief system. You're focusing all about your beliefs right now. And any knowledges that you gain from experience, you're using it to elevate your life, right? That's your focus. And then come the middle of the week, you're really going to be sitting and thinking about, how can I elevate my purpose in life? How are all of these beliefs that I've been developing over Aquarius season, how is that going to elevate the purpose I have in life? So a greater meaning about your beliefs and your direction that you're heading. That's what the Geminis are going to be focusing on. Yeah.
Awesome. And for the Gemini, I want to do a fascial maneuver because they're an air sign and they tend to have lung issues or even asthma or issues with breathing as they're growing up. So why don't we do a quick one? It's super easy to do. Open up the sinuses. So if you want to facelift or you want to breathe more or breathe better, then you can do this one. So what we'll do is take our right hand. You're going to go right on the inside of or the outside of your left side of your nose there and just pin the skin. And then left hand, you're going to push the cheek back. Stretch it. And then hold it there. So you're really stretching the skin away from the nose. And then you can just kind of move your head around and breathe in deep through the nose to the top of your head. And relax.
That actually loosened me up right here, which I always need, but that's kind of what that did.
Well, I find it even adjusts bones in my neck, because if this is restricted, then back here gets restricted. And if you breathe less oxygen through your nose, then you're using more energy throughout the day. You get tired, lethargic, and all these other things. So,
that must be why we always release our breath when we're trying to unwind, right? Because we need to keep that going and keep the tension out of here. See, it's all connected.
Yeah. And I also find Geminis always like to smoke weed. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's the way that they process mentally. It helps them focus on an idea, but something to do with the air sign, right? And I'm sure it has an impact.
Here we go.
Let's do the other side. Okay, so we got
the other side.
Left hand, pin the skin. Yeah. Pin the skin on the right side of your nose and then push the skin back really tight. Hold it there. And then I like to just move in all the directions, looking up from right to left. And breathe in deep through the nose. If you have allergies or sinus blockage or congestion, this is also really good. And relax. And yeah, if you notice any differences from just doing that, put it in the comments and let us know. And then we're going to move on to the Cancers.
All right, so Cancers, you are still focusing on elevating the way you place your boundaries between you and the world around you. And then come the middle of the week, you guys are going to be focusing on the elevation of your transformation. So your inner outer transformation, right? And that's kind of a big word, transformation. But sometimes that means you need to surrender to something so that you can accept something else. And it ultimately leads to your elevation in a higher vibrational lifestyle. So the Cancers, you're going to be focusing on that from now until we give you an update next Monday. Yeah.
And if you're a Cancer, and if you've been experiencing even something similar to that over the last, what would it be now, 17 days, then put it in the comments and let us know. And go on
to the Leos. I saw someone came in that they were a Leo, so here you go, Leo suns, Leo risings. So you guys are working on, this Aquarius season started you out working on elevating your relationship to yourself. And then it's been focusing on, and it will continue to focus on until the middle of this week, your relationship with others. So people that are in your day-to-day life, like your coworkers, your friends, your partner, people that are that you relate to and have to talk to and communicate with on a daily basis. And then it's going to move into your long-term partnerships. So maybe you're elevating, maybe you've been kind of focusing on some of your friendships the past, week, and going to dinner with your friends, and then you're like, I haven't gone to dinner with my spouse in a while. Maybe I should make a date night. So that would be really good to do, between Wednesday, anytime, but between Wednesday and the following week, is elevating your long-term partnerships, marriages. That could be long-term partnerships at work too, or just your, roommates. Maybe you have a long-term roommate. So elevating those relationships, whatever that means to you. And then because it talked about your relationship to yourself, this also has to do with your self-mastery. So elevating that relationship to self and bringing it up to a master level, right? So if you were working on something in the beginning of Aquarius season, which started at the end of January, towards the end of January, now you're going to be taking that to a whole new level. So you're taking yourself out for dates. You're really working on loving yourself and being whole with yourself. So that is for our Leos. Yeah.
For the Leos. Awesome. And for the Leos, one of my favorite exercises is brain-heart coherence. I'm also going into Virgo as well, because Virgo, they analyze and think a lot. So this fascial maneuver is just 6 breaths, but we can do that one together, and it's going to help both the Leos and the Virgos. And all you do is take your right hand and you put it on your heart, and the left hand you put on your head. Close your eyes. Feel your heart. And then feel your brain beat. And we're going to breathe together. So 3 times through the mouth and then 3 through the nose. So breathe in. And out. 2. 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe in. 2.
That was nice and centering for right in the middle of all of these signs.
Yeah. Well, you know, Leo and Virgo rule the heart chakra. And I find when I'm out of my body and in my head a lot, or I'm not connecting to my heart or to my body, that just doing that in 6
Absolutely. You want to get in that heart center. And that's what, you know, the Leo energy, for all you Leos out there, you guys rule the heart. So if you ever feel like you are in your head, center back to your heart. You know, we also just had a big full moon in Leo. I'm curious to hear how everyone's experience with that was. It was a big one. It's opening up your next soul chapter, the story that you're, you know, born to live, and you're turning the page in that next chapter. So that was a big Leo full moon we just had on Sunday morning, afternoon here in the US. Yeah. Yeah. All right. You want to move on to Virgos? All right.
Let's do it.
Oh, well, hold on one second. Okay, Virgos. You guys have been working on elevating your lifestyle, your routines, things that would fall under like your 9 to 5, your task list. So your daily routines and activities, you guys have been elevating that. And then you're going to continue to elevate through Aquarius season your lifestyle as a whole. So those routines that make up your lifestyle, they're going to add up to an elevated lifestyle, which can also positively affect your health if you're elevating your lifestyle, right? So incorporating more fashion movements, more exercise, more breathing. Those are ways to elevate your life that could really apply to Virgos right now. It also, you know, it also elevates your performance at large, right? So all of these little tasks that maybe you're taking away things that have bogged you down a little bit, and now it's going to elevate you into your full mastery performance. So that's what the Virgos are going to be working on. And we can move right into Libra if you want to. Okay, move right into Libra. So the Libras are elevating things that interact with their heart. So that could be any creative projects. Children fall under this category. Your inner child is really big. Anything that matters to your heart. Could be romance also. So the Libras have been elevating maybe romance in their life. And then it's going to lead to your future heartfelt investments. Big creative endeavors. So if you've been working on a big creative project, now your attention's going to focus on elevating that into your future. So manifesting that all into your future. Big personal dreams could be the focus for Libras coming up here. So if we have any Libras, Libra suns or Libra risings in the house, we'd love to see you and see if you have any creative projects you've been working on. Yeah.
Awesome. And for both the Libras and the Scorpios, they own the throat chakra. And the Libras, it's because you're always the peacemakers and you're trying to make everything right and make everybody. And then the Scorpios is because you see everything, but you don't want to hurt someone's feelings and you hold it back, right? So one of the ones, as we're about to go into Scorpio, we could do the throat chakra and open that up. It's actually the thyroid. So if you have thyroid issues, if you have vocal cord issues or anything going on in the throat, one of the quickest things that you can do, it's 6 breaths. You take your right hand and you put it right on the throat there and just pull the skin up. And then your left hand goes right on the back of the neck. And then you breathe 3 times through the mouth and then 3 times through the nose. So breathe together. So breathe in. 2. 3. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe in. 2. 3.
Amazing. That's awesome. You know, and you're so right with those Libras, especially right now, in speaking their truth. It's going to be your truth that's from your heart. And maybe that's defending your inner child. You know, I know we touched on this with the Libras last week. Inner child work, that's some deep stuff, right? But if that's something you're focusing on, speaking up for that inner child, that's going to get you really far this week. The thing with using all these energies and the way that we're talking about them is you have the astrology behind you. So it's like having the wind at your back, right? You can do all this stuff anytime, no matter what sign you are, of course, but the wind is at your back right now. So dive in. Scorpios, awesome. Okay,
Scorpios.
so the Scorpios are elevating their day-to-day emotional care. So taking care of their own emotions before anybody else's. That could be grounding your emotions, elevating your emotions. Maybe, and especially during Aquarius season, emotions can be a little dry. So maybe you're working on your empathy or your sympathy and showing more emotion. Maybe you have a partner, speaking of partners, that needs more emotion for you. Now is a good time to do that. Take care of yourself first and then focus on your emotions to the outer world after. Moving into later this week, you guys are going to be really honing in that emotional security and emotional foundation for yourselves. And that can relate back to your home and family, building a solid, secure home and family life for yourself. So that's what the Scorpios are going to be focusing on for the next 7 days. Yeah.
Awesome. And then we have
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
No, not at all.
No bias here.
I'll say Capricorn like this too to make it even. Capricorn, no. Okay, we're on Sagittarius. Sag Sun, Sag Rising. So the Sagittarius have been working on the elevation of their communication on a daily basis. So that could be the way you have to correspond and communicate with somebody every single day. It could be the way you talk to yourself every single day. You know, there's still a little bit of lingering energy with that. It could also be the logic that you're using. Sometimes Sagittarius, you know, we are very free flowing, but we can get stuck on repeat with some stuff, right? So maybe our logic is kicking in now, going, that's not really logical. So we're elevating our logic and our communication on a daily basis, which ultimately leads us to focusing on our future attitude that we have in life, right? So much of our logic and our communication comes out into our attitude. So our mental approach and our attitude will be focused on later in the week and elevating our mental approach to this world. Yep. Yeah. I think that definitely, I can definitely apply that to my life for sure. Yeah. I can see my mental approach to things. I get emotional. I've got a Pisces moon, and sometimes that overtakes anything else that I have going on. So I like that I have some logical energy coming up.
Yeah, it's interesting because the last few weeks I've been thinking about core guiding principles for my life personally and how that incorporates into our team. Like, for example, clear and honest communication is really important to me because then I know how you're feeling and I know how to help you and support you. And so I've been thinking about, like, well, what is the list of values or the list of guiding principles? Like, be honest or clearly communicate or make things simple or listen to understand. Like, all of these little things that I can use as like a template for my life. So when a situation presents itself, I know how to.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, anytime that we aren't using that open communication, resentment builds, right? And you can miscue things very easily. This can also, I keep getting this like to say, just in case, again, this might resonate with somebody. There's resolution in this time for Sagittarius that has to do with communication. It could be legal. It could be just a communication breakdown resolution. So a lot of Aquarius energy is breakdown to breakthrough. So maybe you had a breakdown in communication, you're going to experience a breakthrough, and it's ultimately going to positively impact your future going into, you know, the next week. Yeah. All right. Okay. We'll move on from the Sagittarius. Okay. Okay. Capricorns. Okay. So the Caps, they're elevating. This is super fun. They're elevating the way that they manifest. All right. What they put in, what time and energy that they put into life, that's what they've been elevating. So what they find valuable, that's what they've been putting their time and energy to, ultimately to elevate their life and how they produce things and what they're productive with. And this is going to lead towards the end of the week. It's going to lead them to elevating their abundance. their abundance in their life. I mean, what a beautiful thing. That's what the Capricorns get to focus on. This could be big purchases. Maybe the Capricorns are making a big purchase, and it's going to greatly impact the abundance that they have in their life. So that's for the Caps and the Cap Suns, Cap Risings. Yeah.
And
we've got Aquarius and Pisces left. If you're an Aquarius, happy birthday. Okay. It's your birthday month, birthday season. So the Aquariuses, they're focusing on their repetitive actions in life, their behavior in life, how they act towards others, and elevating that. That's what they're doing. So how you behave in life, maybe Aquariuses have been needing a little boost in that and needing to give off a higher vibration and wanting to give off a higher vibration. So that's what they're going to be focusing on until the end of the week. Then they're really going to be honing in on their character and their image and elevating that. So calling in all those high vibrations and being able to put it back out there and finding where they belong. You know, the Aquariuses are finding where their character belongs in this world, and how other people view them, you know? Yeah, so that's what the Aquarius is. And again, happy birthday season to all the Aquas out there, Aqua Risings too. And then last but not least, Pisces. You want to move into Pisces? Okay. So yes. the Pisces have been focusing on their everyday spirituality. So what kind of energy they put and effort they put into connecting spiritually and elevating what type of faith they have and how they step into their own awareness and their own psychic abilities. The Pisces could be experiencing a lot of downloads, you know, from the divine. This could be moving into the later part of the week. This could be the elevation of their relationship to God, to the universe, to angels, whatever you find divine, whoever you talk to, whatever speaks to you, you're taking it to the next level. So Pisces, you're really stepping into your spiritual selves and focusing on what your spiritual mission is in this world. That's big. Yeah. The Pisces, you know, they're so powerful, and sometimes they don't even realize how much they have just in their fingertips of what they can give back and what they can have in faith. So that's what the Pisces are focusing on for the next week until we meet again.
Yeah, and so for anybody who just tuned in and might have missed what we just went through, we went through all 12 astrological signs and what you're going to be experiencing for the next week. We will be posting the live on our wall and also sharing some reels so that you could see each of your signs and what's going on for you throughout the week. So stay tuned on our channel and you'll be able to see that. And also go to Sirius Joy, Heather's account right there, and give them a follow. They have a platform that sends you messages daily and tells you what's going on for your sign, so that you can go into the day with an intention, or you can end your day with validation of what you were experiencing. I've been using it for about 3 years. It's changed my view of how energy interacts with my body day to day. Like sometimes I would get a message saying, you know, energy alert, you might be frustrated in the next 2 hours. And I'm like, bang on, like you're somehow reading my mind. But yes, so if you're interested, if you believe in astrology or you want to learn a little bit more about yourself, give them a follow, and you can head to their website and sign up for a 1-month trial and test it out to see how it resonates with you.
I know we love it, and we love all of our new followers, and welcome to our Instagram page.
Awesome. Well, we will be back next week at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all then. So thank you everybody for participating.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thanks, Heather.